It is Tuesday, March the 5th, and this is the 24 hours of Bitcoin. I'd like to start off by directing your attention to the disclaimer, which is down in the description below. This is not trading advice. Even our alerts program, our cryptocurrency signals and alerts service, is not actually trading alerts, but it is an education service that gives you a specific trading plan and then exact buy and sell entry points so that you can be practicing that plan with guidance through our community. So let's dig into Bitcoin prices. We're looking at the one-day bars right now, and as we zoom in, we can see that while we have a nice green candle and I like it, we don't really have a great deal of volume over this 24-hour candle to support that big move. Now, when we zoom in on the market and we look at the 15-minute bars, we can see here that we do have a bit of volume, but it's all concentrated just in the last couple hours of time here. One thing I want to point out in this slide is the RSI divergence that we were mentioning yesterday. So we were noticing that prices were making lower lows here, but the RSI was making higher lows through this period. It was diverging along here, and we were mentioning, is this enough to stop the bears? And of course, on the 15-minute bars, it's pretty tricky to be calling a turnaround in the whole market. So it's pretty lucky that we were able to observe the divergences, not only in this pattern, but I want to go out to a longer time and observe the RSI divergence developing here in Bitcoin. So we're having some great stuff going on with the RSI. Now, the second thing we look at in this show every day is the on-balance volume indicator. So here we're looking at the one-day bars, and we can see that we've had some good volume. We were observing yesterday how this was on a downtrend, but on this chart we've got a little bit of an uptick at the end, and that's really good. We move into the 12-hour bars. We can see our nice green candle here and some supporting volume on balance, buying volume going on. Let's zoom in and see how this is turning out now. So this had a bit of selling going on, and then we've got this candle that I like to point out, that green line on the bottom side before it crosses over. Often, not always, this gives us a signal that things are going to be moving strongly. Looking at the 4-hour bar, zoom into the 1-hour bar, and that makes it pretty clear where the volumes kicked in, as we could see earlier, but this makes it really clear where the selling was, and the bears just didn't have the power. Now the bulls are stepping up, and I would bet that we're seeing some liquidations as we're going up here in all the short contracts. So now let's go and take a look at the MACD indicator, and then we can talk about where things are going. Here's the one-day view of the MACD, and we were zooming in on this yesterday, talking about how this crossover was bearish. When this crosses over in all the history, it's always a down move right after that crossover when we're looking at the daily. So we had that crossover, and that was pretty bearish looking. When we zoom into the 3-month view and we look at this, we have the crossover. It was also bearish looking, but now we're starting to see a change of momentum here. Should we get the crossover, that'll really confirm that things are stepping up, but they haven't yet. On the 1-month view, it has crossed over a little bit. The histogram has gone from negative to positive, so these are the very earliest indications that we can see in the MACD indicator. The 1-week view, we can see that the crossover happened earlier. So right after yesterday's show, as this was happening, I'd have to go back and see exactly the time I put that on to see if that crossover had happened or not yet. But watching for these crossovers to unfold always happens in a short time frame to a longer time frame, and they nest within each other when they are correct. You'll see the turnaround happen in the short time frame, and then it'll confirm in the longer time frame, and it'll confirm again in the longer time frame. So as we're starting out here and we're zooming from a long time to a short time frame, we're starting to see where the confirmation crossovers were already happening. Probably, here in the 3-day, we saw this divergence. Where's the lines? So we saw this divergence here. And this was important on the 3-day view. And when we reflect on how that turned out on against the longer time frames, then we can see it was the very same time that these were starting to cross over. Great to see. So now what does that mean for where we're going? Let's go to the 1-year view. And I'm going to return to the Fibonacci extensions. And so I'm going from the range of this number 1, 2, 3 bottom formation from the top of to the bottom, and then we're getting these extensions. And I do think we're going to be blasting through these areas and coming up to bounce off one of these. And of course, it's not going to be a slow movement. It's probably going to be something quick, and we'll see where things head up right now. So I'm long on most things and watching for top formations as everything goes up. And I'm kind of bullish on where things are with Bitcoin because of where it is compared to all of the other coins. They always seem to go in consensus. So when we're seeing bottom formations and a break higher, bottom formation and break higher, bottom formation and a break higher, another bottom formation that's already broken higher, leads me to believe that the momentum really has switched. So we've been calling for this bottom formation for so long, it gets to be, you don't believe it when it actually comes. You're saying, I don't feel like calling another bottom formation because it's called it so often and it's just been going sideways that anyway, it's looking great right this moment. However, when we go on to the longer term view, on our other channel, we're doing this review of the 50 different cryptocurrencies. It's still not really definitive, although we can see that this green line is on an uptrend, which means we're getting more bullish, and the red line's on a downtrend, which means the bearish indicators are fading off. The neutral still is hanging out. So when this neutral starts to drop off and the greens and the yellows start to take off, we know that most of the cryptocurrencies have made these bottom formations and they're breaking out higher. This is what this indicator will tell us on the cryptocurrency review that we're doing every day. So that wraps it up here for the Bitcoin details. This is my prediction again. I've been going over this for a while, even though we're inside this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. I think it'll go higher than this, but we'll see after we get up here and we start to take a look at what the indicators are all telling us, what the volume patterns are showing, what are the other cryptocurrencies doing, and then we'll be watching for this top formation up here and talking about that from day to day. So I really appreciate you guys turning up here. If you're interested in learning more, head over to IntroToCryptos.ca and sign up on the homepage for some free training. Don't miss out on this free training. It's going to help you learn exactly what I'm talking about here in these bottom formations. It gives you a free chapter from my book that is the most important chapter. So if you're just starting out trading and you don't have money to buy a course, you really can't miss out on this. Go and take this free training. Get this under your belt so that you can look back and say, oh man, I got prepared at the right moment. This is really key for exactly this moment in the markets. That's it for today. I will let you guys go. Good luck in all of your Bitcoin trading, and we'll see you tomorrow.